You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Welcome to T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. Music, comedy, and conversation featuring HB, the Honey Badger.
Honey Badger don't care.
Now, on with the show.
Are you ready, HB?
I'm ready, T-Bone.
Mr. Charlie, are you?
I am ready.
All right, baby, let's get it. Hey, this is Radio Free Roanoke, and this is episode number 131, T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. He's Charlie Counts, local seafood delivery right here in Roanoke Valley. You bring fresh and wild seafood from the Carolina coast to our beautiful people here. Is that fair to say, Charlie?
Yes, that is very fair to say. Good description.
Okay, good. Now, listen, I got to tell you before we get further in here. For years, Charlie, I've always heard about this quote-unquote fish guy. Mm-hmm. The fish guy.
The fish guy.
The honey badger would tell me about this fish guy was bringing fish, and they would buy it, him and his lovely wife, Terry. They would buy it down on the city market. I would hear about it from people at the VA Medical Center where I used to work. So... you're not an urban legend. We're right here in your house.
You met me in the
You're
flesh.
real.
This is a real thing. You can say you spotted me.
Yeah.
So
Caught me.
Caught me. Oh.
We caught the big
That's
fish.
a good hook there. Yeah. Oh.
But anyway, thank you for hosting us here in your house.
Sure.
Give us a little background. Bring us up to speed to where you started this business. But before we do that, where did you come from? Where are you from? And do you love beach music?
I like beach music. Yeah, I like all kinds of music, and I do a lot of that when I'm driving to the coast. I listen to a lot of different
Get
stuff.
in the mood, huh?
But yeah, I'm originally from Saltville, Virginia, though. I grew up on an old tobacco farm down in the mountains, so seafood wasn't really in my blood or anything. It's not something I grew up with, but I grew up on an old tobacco farm, and we raised Black Angus cattle down there now. And I came to college at Roanoke College and studied business and marketing. Graduated from there in 2010 and started this business about 6 months later.
Whoa.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 22.
Okay.
So I'm 34 now, but we've been in business for 12 years now.
Wow.
12 years. Now, do you consider yourself like an entrepreneur?
I've been hesitant to take that mantle because I feel like a real entrepreneur creates jobs for other people. I was mainly just creating a job for myself, but now we have hired other people over the years, so I guess you could say I'm a real entrepreneur now.
Okay.
We're giving jobs to other people too.
Yeah.
Well, tell us how it all started then. Did you just wake up and say, you know what, I want to go down to the Carolina coast and bring some fish back?
That's a great question. I mean, people ask me that all the time, and I still ask myself, how did I get... Basically, what it kind of started on a whim. It wasn't something I planned on doing. But after I graduated from Roanoke College, it was 2010, and the recession was still kind of getting over from a recovery. And I was looking around for jobs and trying to use my degree to get one. In the meantime, I just started working out the Quality Inn, doing maintenance. Mowing the grass, cleaning the pools, just doing something. While I was looking around. And on a family beach trip that summer, we happened to go down to the coast. Me, my mom, and my dad and brother. And we always go to Topsail Island, North Carolina. That's where I've been going since I was a little kid. Topsail. It's spelled Topsail.
It's right, and that's the way I know it is Topsail.
Yeah.
Okay, Topsail.
For all my relatives in West Virginia, please note that.
Right. It's Topsail, like topsoil. It's like topsail.
Okay.
But so we went down there on a family beach trip just that summer, and at the time, this local restaurant had opened up. This was a big part of it. Barbara Kingsolver, this lady that was a famous author, she's wrote like Animal Vegetable Miracle and some of these other books about living on local foods. Yeah. And she's a really famous author. And they opened up a restaurant, her and her husband, back home where I grew up on that tobacco farm. And they were only serving local foods. And so we were selling our Black Angus cattle to them. That was on the menu. My brother was washing dishes there. My mom was waiting tables during the summer. She's a teacher, getting ready to retire. And so our whole family was kind of connected up with this family. They were our neighbors anyway, and we were good friends. And we were kind of into this local food movement with them and our beef. And on that family beach trip, we kind of had it was my dad's idea originally, just to bring back a small cooler of seafood to the restaurant, since it was local grouper, local shrimp. You knew where it was coming from.
Right.
Well, we brought it back just trying to pay for the trip a little bit for the gas or something, you know.
Right.
Brought it to the restaurant. Well, they put it on the menu and it was a huge hit and it sold out immediately. And that's when the light bulb went off for me. I'm like, well, we could bring this up here to more people, friends, family. They were like, when are y'all getting some more of that seafood in? And they're like, well, it's just kind of a one-time thing. But I made it into a weekly thing after that. That's when the light bulb went off for me. I saw that there was an opportunity, there was a demand for it up here, and we knew where to get the good stuff. And we put the two together.
And and you knew the vendors and stuff now, or I guess the guys that
Those
go
guys,
catch
yeah,
it
that
fresh.
run the dock. This guy's named Adrian and JM. He's not there anymore, but those were the two guys that originally we've known, you know, for over 30 years since I was a little kid, and that's pretty much how we've just known them for so long, and that's where we'd always get seafood, and we knew it was so good because we'd been down there.
So once a week you go down there?
So now, yeah, it's once a week. I'll go down for weekly trips, and it's all fresh. It's never frozen. We pick up literally, if you were down there at the beach getting food with your friends and family, that's what you'd be getting.
It's
so,
that fresh.
So I just pack it up and bring it back
Wow.
up here
Yeah.
the next day. And so people can order it online in advance while it's still in the water a lot of times. We don't even know if it's going to be caught or not.
Right.
So we try to get orders in so we know how much to bring back up here. But a lot of it's speculative.
So you would go to like the local seafooddelivery.com?
Yes.
All right, and then I could say on Monday night, about 11:30 at night, Charlie, I'd like a hammerhead shark.
Well,
It's really
he
just
does
like
have shark steaks already.
there's some Mako out there from time to time. It tastes like chicken. But you can, it's just like Amazon. You know, you got little pictures and you fill your card up, and you don't even use a credit card. You just pay when you pick it up in person.
So it's that easy?
It's that
really
easy.
easy.
Yeah.
It's really
So
easy.
you have pictures of the fish?
Yes, and they're all whole fish, so everybody thinks they're whole, but they're actually filleted already. But yes, we do have pictures of the fish up there.
Yeah.
Wow. So I can order what I want, and then you go down there, and if it's available, you'll bring it back.
Exactly.
And then where do I meet you? Some street corner downtown?
We used to be in the alley downtown. No, I down in the downtown. I used to sell downtown. That's where I met Mr. Badger over here.
Yeah, and
was
my wife, yeah.
and his wife. We met them downtown, and so I was down there for like 9 years. Then when COVID hit, we switched to our other market. Now we're out at South County Seasonal Market on Fridays, and that's out where like Cafe Asia 2 and Fink's Jewelers and Ginger Jewelry
And Full Moon.
and Full Moon Bakery and all that stuff's at. And there's a little farmer's market up there. And then I'm also at Westlake now. I've gone up to the Westlake on Saturdays. We're trying to meet some folks up there.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
So there's 2 markets you can pick up on, and you just pick them when you check out. And it's really easy.
Yeah, it's nice. It's fresh. Boy, you.
And y'all know
It's
you
all
had
nice.
what's some of your favorite fish that you?
Oh gosh. Well, the salmon is always a favorite. Scallops. We've gotten so much from you.
I
We
know.
just got a new fish that
was
my
it
wife.
sheep's head the other day? I had some sheep's head.
And it was like salmon.
Oh, that Arctic char.
Yes.
I think some of that.
Well,
yeah.
And that was excellent. It was excellent.
That was one of my new
We
favorites,
just had
too.
it, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, like night before last, yeah.
That's
So,
one of my favorites too.
awesome.
And yeah, I was gonna say so everything we bring in is fresh. So these people they can always cook it or freeze it by Saturday night. You could always freeze it for later and then eat it whenever.
Right.
you
Oh
want.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's never been frozen before, like this other stuff you see in the grocery stores.
Right. Yeah.
Most popular. What are some of the most popular seafood you bring back?
Yeah.
The people love the salmon from the Faroe Islands. That's like a specialty product. We can get stuff from all over the world, really, but I try to focus on what's coming local down there. So the salmon's really popular for us. It's coming from a sustainable aquaculture, and then we also get like the vermilion snapper is a big one. I love the red snapper. It's the type of red snapper they get out of Carolina.
Yeah.
It's called vermilion. Like crimson is a color, and vermilion.
Yeah.
And that's a really good one. And the other one, red drum's also another one that I like a lot. But it really depends on your taste buds. I would say the snappers are pretty popular for us, and we can get yellowfin tuna and swordfish. That Gulf Run's about to start, where you can go about 40 miles off the coast out in the Gulf Stream, and this stuff's running out there around June, like mahi, wahoo, swordfish, yellowfin tuna, big eye tuna. That's where a lot of the bigger fish are out in that Gulf Stream coming up here soon. So we're getting a bunch of those.
I've never gotten anything. Actually, I can eat it all. Some of them I might like a little better than others, but they're all good.
And fresh shrimp's a big thing for us.
Oh, gosh, yes.
It's hard to find truly fresh, not previously frozen shrimp up here. And we've been getting some gigantic 16, 20 count shrimp with the heads off. And a lot of people, for your customers, to educate the folks listening here,
Yeah.
a count, if you ever hear that, like on shrimp, they'll say 16, 20 count or 31, 35 count. The count is how many items of that it takes to make a pound. So 16 to 20 count shrimp, it would take about 16 to 20 shrimp to get a pound, which is big. So a 31, 35 count shrimp, it's going to take more shrimp to make a pound, so they're smaller. So the bigger the number, the smaller the thing we're talking about.
Okay.
A little inside info.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, if I looked at your menu, Charlie, there'd be shrimp. There'd be scallops,
Yeah. Yeah, we get fresh sea scallops.
sea scallops. There would be grouper.
Probably not grouper. Grouper's getting hard to come by.
Is it?
It's the price is up, the demand's so high, and they're just not catching as many. Wreck fish is our alternative that we can get from weeks, which is very similar to grouper. It's called wreck fish, like a shipwreck. And they swim in similar places. They're big, thick, meaty fish. So sometimes when we can't get something, we do have some close substitutes.
Right.
Flounder.
Flounder's a big one.
North Carolina crab meat. Is that
Yes, and that's another big one. Yeah, it's fresh, picked crab meat, not pasteurized from some other
And
Asian
it's-
red crab or something. It's a real thing.
Caught, put on ice, and brought to the people in
back.
Roanoke.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, it's hard to get that niche up here.
Yeah.
A lot of folks just don't know about us, but the folks that do
Right.
really love it, you know, like you all. And
Yeah.
Well,
We've known you.
was Terry one of the first people?
Probably the first customer, one of
Probably
the
was.
early customers I know.
I think so.
Because she's from New England and loves seafood, and when she found you, it was like,
Right. Yeah,
You
and
know.
I've met a lot of folks from the coast over the years that have moved here to Roanoke. You'd be surprised how many people used to live up in Maryland or North Carolina. A lot of people from the north, New Jersey.
Right.
And they come here and they're like, I love Roanoke, but one of the only things I don't like about Roanoke is you can't get fresh
That's
seafood
it.
here.
Yes.
Well,
So we solved that problem. That's our
Man.
niche.
1-800-CHARLIE.
That's right. Call the Seafood Crisis Hotline.
Do you ever go out on any of the boats? Just as
I personally don't. I'd kind of be a greenhorn out there, you know, probably just get in the way. They don't really have the room for it. I'd love to. Sometimes I'll do some wreck trips myself, just recreationally around the intercoastal waterway with me and my family. But I don't go out there and do it myself. I'm the driver and the distributor. They get to have all the fun.
Yeah. Nah, Charlie, I know you know fish, and you know sometimes how to fix it.
Sometimes.
So, and I know I've heard you give advice.
Yeah.
Here's something you can do with this, and you do give advice to your customers. I've heard that. It's fantastic. Sounds like a great way to put some more on your YouTube channel.
Yes.
You being the fish man,
That's exactly
and show
right.
you how to one way or another way to
Cooking
throw it
some
on the
recipes is a great thing that we
Yeah.
need to flesh out on our YouTube channel. You're exactly right. That's a good
grill.
idea.
Yeah, that would be a great thing. I know we grill.
Grilling's a
all
big
the
one. That's
time.
usually what I do too.
And then poach. My wife's big on poaching because
See, I've never even poached a fish. I don't even.
it's the true flavor and all, but I love grilling it.
You can, yeah.
But I like it pan fried. It don't matter. It all
Right.
it all works.
And that's a lot of folks. That's one of the hangups of why they're hesitant to purchase fresh fish is because they don't know what to do with it. I've read some
Right.
statistics that most of all the animals that we eat, seafood is the most eaten out at a restaurant.
yeah, I would
So
say.
people are less
Okay.
familiar with preparing it themselves. And so that if I can show them or give them a tip or tell them really how easy it is, if people
Right.
just knew how easy it was, they
Yes.
wouldn't be so hesitant. But it's really easy.
And I know the seafood you have offered because we have, say we were asked for something. You go, hey, I don't have that. It didn't come in this week, but I do have this, and you can try it. And it's great to talk to you about it. We go home and we fix it, and I find out I love another fish.
Right.
And when I first started eating fish, probably 30 years ago, really getting into it, I only ate like 2 things. Now I eat about everything that you bring, and
That's awesome.
so you do learn more, and you get to talk to you about it too. It's not just going in a store and it's wrapped
Right.
up and it's frozen. Well, I don't know what to do with that.
Right.
You know, there's Charlie, and you go pick it up. Hey, is there something else that tastes similar to this? You kind of learn different things. You're very good about that. I know we've had great,
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. I'm glad y'all-
great advice, and it's worked every time. So,
Right.
so people are missing out if they don't
I
at
like to
least
hear that,
have
man.
conversation with you.
I'm
yeah.
glad y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
For a novice like me, Charlie, are there any tips or advice as far as seasoning or fixing?
Yeah, what's your
fish?
go-to?
Salt and pepper
Ooh.
are the
Oh.
most basic. I'm a simple kind of guy anyway, but I also want people to know that you don't have to be fancy with it. It's really the simple things work a lot of times. Salt and pepper work. Of course, Old Bay, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to my Marylanders.
Oh yeah, Old Bay's good.
Old Bay's good, but I usually just cook in butter. If I'm pan-searing something, sauteing it in butter always makes things taste good. And salt and pepper, because a lot of times you want that natural flavor to come out. If you're having to over-season something too much, or having to fry it up real deep, it's usually trying to cover something up.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
So you kind of want to just keep it simple and let those flavors shine through. A little lemon and lime goes a long way, and that'll technically even cook the fish if you let it sit there. I mean, that's what ceviche is when you just put lime and lemon, and the acidity from the juices will cook it. So but you can just season it with that and some other things and cook it up. It's
Salt,
real simple, though.
pepper,
Salt, pepper.
butter.
That's all you need. Salt, pepper, butter.
We were at Liberty Station, Bedford, and I ordered salt and pepper seafood, and
Yeah.
she said it's one of the most popular items they serve there,
Oh, yeah.
and I'd never had it before, Charlie, and it was like, ooh,
Yes.
Yeah, you
Oh,
commented.
yeah,
about
yeah, I
that,
did.
yeah.
It's so good,
Right on.
and it's simple.
It's something simple is usually the best way to do it.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah.
My week. Well, now when are you going back out to the coast, sir?
Going back tomorrow morning.
Ah.
So heading out first thing in the morning before the sun comes up. And I'll be back that same day. So I go down and back all in one day. It's about 5.5 hours down, 5.5 back. Takes us a little while to load up and get everything packed good on ice. And then we head on straight back. And we pack it all on Thursday. So it takes me and my crew almost a whole day to pack everything for all the orders that we
Get
get.
everything,
And that way everything's portioned out. And we pack it all back on deep ice and bring it out to the market on Friday.
And then you pick up extra for people that walk up, haven't ordered.
That's
But
right.
they and make
That's
sure that
right.
everybody.
So we do recommend that you order, but you don't have to. We do bring in extra, but it's first come, first serve, and people swamp us first thing in the morning because they know that. So sometimes we'll have a line before we even open. But yeah, you don't have to order from us, but we do have some extra stuff. If you got your heart set on something, we'll hold it for you if you order. But otherwise, yeah, you can come down and buy seafood from us each week without ordering.
Oh,
Just get there early.
get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Early bird gets the fish.
There you
But
go.
also, the early worm, you don't want to be the early worm because he gets caught.
Words of
Oh,
wisdom
yeah,
from the sea, from Saltville to the sea.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
and I've noticed that my life has kind of followed the salt. Like I grew up in Saltville, and then I moved
Oh.
to Roanoke, and they call this place Big Lick because of the salt.
know why?
And
That's
now
right.
I go to the coast. to
It's
the
salt water.
So my life has just followed the salt.
So salt life.
Salt life
would,
is
would
my life.
really be
I
you.
should
Yeah.
coin that phrase.
Salty dog.
I'm living it.
Yeah.
Well, this is fine stuff, Charlie. Is there anything we left out, or anything else you want to mention as we get ready to wrap
Yeah,
up?
like times that where you're going to be, what days. Put all that out there.
Yeah, man, I'll be out. It's every Friday at South County from 9 to 3, and it's every Saturday at Westlake Farmers Market from 9 to 11. And we've got our hours and locations on our website. They're with GPS
Yeah.
links. They're real easy to follow. And that's at localseafooddelivery.com.
LocalSeafoodDelivery.com. That's easy enough.
Local
Yeah.
seafood delivery.
Because you're the
That's
only.
exactly what
I mean,
we
I
do.
don't. I guess you're the. There's not many games in town of that. isn't
Not
there?
many. There was
Yeah.
a fella, Captain Paul, up here in Salem for a long time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, he had a real loyal following. We've gotten a few of his customers since he retired. And there's a couple fellas, I think, at Grandin Market that do it, come down from different areas like Lynchburg, and I support them. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just not many anymore. And we just
Right.
recommend you get to know your producers and purveyors.
Right.
It's just good to know who's getting the food, making the food. You know, either
Yeah.
a farmer with eggs, produce, beef, seafood, whatever it may be. I just like to see people getting to know their producers and purveyors.
There you go. Before we zip it up for good, what's the oddest or most exotic fish you've brought?
Yeah.
Gosh, we've had some weird ones. The
Like a
sheep-
three-eyed.
The sheep's head that I had a couple weeks ago. There's some pictures probably up on our Facebook page still of it, but they have like human-looking teeth, And their whole, I mean, they're like smiling at
Is
you.
that a wisdom?
I mean, it's uncanny. Yeah, it's not
Oh.
appetizing looking, but yeah, they look like they've got human teeth, like the molars and everything.
What kind of fish is
It's
that?
called sheep's head.
Sheep's head.
Also called convict fish because they have black stripes running down their side,
Oh,
almost
wow.
like
Yeah.
a jail uniform or something.
Yeah.
So they call them convict fish or sheep's head. They've got weird looking human teeth on them, so that's kind of strange.
Yeah.
There's some other weird ones out there
Yeah.
too, I guess. But
I've seen a lot of ugly fish, but they taste good on the
Right.
grill. And
Right.
you
Yeah,
don't
so-
have to look at their head.
right, and the monkfish too. You know, monkfish are hideous
Yeah.
looking, but their tails are delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this has been an education, Charlie. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you guys.
And we will find you out and about selling your fish.
Yes.
I appreciate you taking the time.
All
to come
right.
over here.
And do you have a nickname, a real nickname?
People call me Seafood Charlie.
Seafood
I
Charlie.
like that. I was going to say Charlie the Tuna, but
Charlie Tuna's a big one.
Yeah, yeah.
You've heard that. I know.
I've heard that one. Crab Cake Charlie. When I was a little kid, that's what they used to call me when I was back when my mom used to work in this restaurant called the Starving Artist, and we'd go in and pick her up after work, and I'd always go and want a crab cake. When I was like 4 or 5 years old, they gave me the nickname Crab Cake Charlie. It was foreshadowing.
Oh, wow.
All right, you're
All
the
right.
man.
Thanks,
Go get
guys.
it,
Thank you
Doctor.
so
I
much,
appreciate
Charlie. Appreciate it, buddy.
Trucking, got my chips cashed in, keep trucking, like a two-dumb man, together, for a lesson line, we just keep trucking, Say arrows and neon and flashing monkeys on the main street, Chicago, New York, Detroit, and it's on the same street. Typical city involved in a typical daydream. Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings. Dallas got its own machine. Houston, you're close to New Orleans. And New York got the ways and means, but just won't let you, baby. Oh, no. Most of the cats you meet on the street think are true love. Most of the time they're sitting and crying at home. One of these days,
Our show announcer, Elizabeth Ann Hughes, recording engineer Mike Hawley, executive editor J.T. Woodrum, and thanks for stopping by.